Okay, YouTube. So here I go. Jumping into the pool. I basically just came up with the idea of creating this channel 10 minutes ago, and I've been rushing through all of the tasks implied in getting it up and running. My name is Antonio. I'm from Spain, a little sea town south of Barcelona, actually. And the reason why I have, or the reasons why I have decided to start this channel, which I have very, mm, in a very improvised manner, I have decided to name changing RPMs. I think is because it sounded good to me in a moment, and I think it also, uh, it reflects some of the spirit, idiosyncrasy of and the goal of this channel. So I'm allowing myself. I know I'm just my speech is not the most fluent right now. Some of you might even have trouble following my accent. Let me know if that's the case. And I feel kind of weird saying that because virtually no one knows me right now. As I said, I just created this channel, but who knows? Maybe in time, people will. In any case, this whole project of starting a channel is defined by several factors that I have taken the time, by the time meaning a minute, to write down. The first of which is wanting community. This is something that is becoming really, really important for me in my life. Really missing, a community of like-minded people that are basically interested and moved and inspired by the same things that I am. And I don't know if this happens to you, but I have found that as I grow up and as I've added ages to my life, not ages, sorry, if I've added years to my account, I've noticed that and this might be a completely personal thing, but I feel like I'm becoming more and more um, isolated from people in general. Um, and so, I've been getting a lot of that sense of community out of YouTube for a few years. Not only with vinyl, which is a fairly recent, recently refound love of mine. But yes, I've been getting a lot of that sense of community out of YouTubers. I feel so grateful to have found some of the people that have felt like very dear and still feel like very dear companions for the last few years, especially since COVID, with the forced isolation that we had to endure, especially where I'm from. YouTube was great to alleviate that sense of isolation, and so that is one of the main reasons why I'm here. I want to hopefully start a community. I know there's enough of a community around vinyl, but who knows? I don't know. I just want to start my own. Should me. And part of that is that I always felt a bit of a like a bit of a freak, for lack of a better term. I never felt like I quite belonged in this time and space that I'm occupying since 1978 in this northeast region of Spain. So hence this YouTube channel. Um, as I just said, I've just recently gone back to vinyl, and this has been an invaluable source of joy a lot of enjoyment has found its way back into my life, and I'm so grateful and so happy that it did. And like many, maybe some of you, I went through a phase. I mean, I collected like crazy up until must have been, I don't know, like my early to mid 20s. I got so much vinyl and CDs, lots of hundreds of CDs and hundreds of vinyl. And then, I started following that need for community and sense of estrangement, or wanting to escape the sense of estrangement from the culture that I grew up in. I started traveling the world, and I did for almost 20 years. So obviously my record collection couldn't come with me. I tried it with CDs for a while, but yeah, that wasn't great. And so back in 2004, I was living in New York at the time, and I bought my first iPod, and this clear just opened for me. It was like finally, like I can have access to this is pre-streaming, obviously. So it was like a godsend in the sense that I was finally able to carry all of my music with me and to not have to miss it, because it was really the youngsters that can't really relate to that feeling, but it was really hard sometimes to miss the music that I really loved, and not being able to carry it with me. And so the iPod was like, wow, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. So that meant that obviously, my record collection had to stay behind. It was at my parents'. I left it there. And so, being a bit of a free spirit, and a bit of a also a bit of a dysfunctional young adult, in the sense that I wasn't really having my life together at the time. I didn't really know what to make of it, of anything. I wasn't in the healthiest of of financials, finance. And so, on and off, I had to go back and sell lots of my records. And my collection basically it shrank down to 100 vinyls and virtually almost none of the CDs. I I either gave them away or sold them for very cheap, or lost them. And so so many moves. I moved so much through my 20s and 30s. So yeah, my collection was really tiny uh, until last November. I'm recording this in January 2025. So on the 6th, on the 6th of November, to be precise, of 2024, I went to see a band that it's among my favorites, that I'll probably mention in this channel. And well, if it ever continues. And that's Red Cross, the Magnolia Brothers band from LA, that goes back all the way to the 70s, the late 70s, and when they were only teenagers. I think Steve was 11 when they started the band. And so anyway, I went to see them after I saw them once in 2004, sorry, in 1994 in Barcelona on their Face Shifter tour. And I hadn't seen them since. So 20 years later, I went and got them. Uh, and this really did something to me. This really put me back in touch with something that had been dormant, but was still very much alive inside of me, and that just felt so excited, so moved by this energy and this excitement, and just seeing a rock band live. And it triggered something, and one thing led to another, and I found myself wanting to go back to all those albums. luckily I managed to have a few of those and a little record player, and so I've enjoyed that so much. And so slowly, relatively slowly, because I'm one of those rushes when you go back to vinyl, you just need to get everything back, and there's also a little bit of a trauma surrounding some of the pieces that I lost, especially the ones I lost, because I lost some of my favorite some of my favorite pieces of vinyl in one of these moving back from the UK to Spain, and I'm still traumatized about that. I sometimes literally wake up in the middle of the night thinking of those records. But anyway, I'll probably mention if this ever continues, I'll be probably going back to that because it's a trauma. So, the all of the nostalgia and going back to those times, that thing that was sparked by watching, by seeing Red Cross Life is one of the main factors of me wanting to go back to vinyl. But there's other things too. Um, and this also came to me growing up, and it's this desire of wanting to be more present to my experiences, and this is something that it's so obvious to me how different of an experience it is for me to listen to something on vinyl versus listening to it on my phone, as I'm on the go, as I go for really long walks and hikes, and if I'm like in nature, out in nature, I won't be playing music. But if I live, as I said, on a sea town, so if I just go for a walk around the sea um, often I'll be listening to music, and that experience is completely different to sitting down and listening to vinyl, or even like even with CDs. I don't think it's like format exclusive, but if I'm listening to a CD on my car, uh, I just the whole experience of listening is different because I'm way more present than I am with streaming, especially on my phone. And so something in me is really craving that experience of being present with music and with everything in general, but especially with music because it brings so much joy. And that need to focus more is also related to some of I've recently found out that I don't know if I qualify. I don't know if I would be clinically diagnosed as ADHD. Not sure that I believe in those things anyway. But in diagnosis, I mean, especially um, psychiatric diagnosis. I'm not sure that I believe in those, but that's not relevant here. But in any case, so yeah, I think that I have a lot of the symptoms of ADHD, and so it really helps me to have this. It really helps with my cognitive function in general, the more that I invest in being present to activities. So yes, definitely, listening to music on vinyl and having to sit and having to manually, set the record on the turntable, and the whole ritual, the whole mechanics of it, it really anchors me into the experience of listening. And I use any help that I get with being present, and that is really helpful. Then again, ADHD, my ADHD, quote unquote ADHD, my self-diagnosed ADHD, is plays also a part in my compulsive buying because I mean I think and this is something that you find with ADHD. Like everyone struggles with these things, but people that might have ADHD or have ADHD, in my experience and in our experience in general, have a much harder time than everyone else doing these things. And, we all struggle with compulsive buying. Everyone that loves vinyl. And so so I hear from everyone in this community and from my friends um, but like it brings me um so much peace to sort of um to check this items of my want list, and I'll find myself buying way too much sometimes. Just last night, I had a night shift last night, and when I work nights, I'm not super busy. I have a lot of free time, and that's dangerous because basically last night I think I bought like it might have been between 8 and 9 pieces of vinyl, very cheap, really cheap. I got lucky, and I got some albums that I was really wanting to have on vinyl, for probably around 10 euros each, including shipping. So I was really lucky like that, and I was really happy. But yeah, it's sort of you know a challenge with me too. And basically, with all these vinyls that I'm buying, I'd like to make something. You know. Something that will hopefully support this experience of being present with this music. So in a way, this channel, even if I didn't plan it like this, I'm just realizing as I talk to you here that this channel is one of the intentions of this channel is to try and balance the two polar opposites that I just mentioned, the wanting to be present versus the compulsion, which is by nature the opposite of presence. You're completely gone. You're completely immersed into this. And, and I see that I might have contradicted myself there, but to me, it feels like very opposite to be present to the experience of listening versus to be completely immersed in the craze of the spending. So what I want to do here in this channel, or at least that's my goal today, is to document not only the purchases I find myself currently doing, but I like to document the experience of listening to the music in each of these vinyls that I'm buying. Um, Meaning that, I love to share my impressions of that experience, which will hopefully help me be more present every time I sit down and listen. And because I am a creative person, I'm sure that I'll come up with ideas for other types of videos, and I hope I find the motivation, ADHD again, um, to pursue this channel because so far I've been doing this for I don't know a few minutes. I can see the count here, but I'm quite enjoying it. So who knows? Maybe I'll keep it up. Anyway, if you want to find out, I can believe I'm saying these words that I hear so many people say all the time, and I'm saying them myself. If you like this video, if you believe in me, if you think you might get something out of this, please leave give me a like or leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. I mean, that would make me really, really happy. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you around.